The Earnestly Speaking podcast is a show that is founded on free-flowing conversation and may at times venture into mature subjects. Listener discretion is advised.
Yeah, Earnestly Speaking podcast. Let's get it. I'm a giant in New York, in Miami carry heat. So much more in store, my product can flood the street. Opinion Nation Godfather, CEO. Huff in the late 90s, gon' see me blow. Oh. Got my hustle on, no imitation of that. Army of untouchables, Opinion Nation staff. Never an off season, homie, check the numbers. Heart throbbing my own right, supplying southern comfort. Earnestly speaking, my ego is well fed. Earnestly speaking, you're too feeble and no threat. See, I'm like a hurricane, you're a mild breeze. Earnestly speaking, leaving Eli a dynasty. Shake!
Earnestly Podcast, recording this late Wednesday night, December 17th, 2025, day 4, also of Hanukkah. Joined, of course, by, look who it is, Big Jim, James Nies. Although he's looking like little Jim now. Trimming out, brother.
Yeah, I've as of this past Monday, I'm down. Wait, it's like 54 pounds. I think.
Holy shit! Really?
Yeah, since April. Yeah, 54 pounds.
And what you're doing is consistent. We came on the podcast a couple weeks ago. You said that you're walking, eating better, but you're not doing anything extreme. You're just being consistent.
Yeah,
building.
Tracking calories, Lose It app. I recommend that to everybody. You set a goal in the app, and you just track as you eat throughout the day. And that's honestly my biggest advice, because if you do it, my wife actually does it ahead of time. Like she'll like, if she knows what she's having for breakfast or lunch or whatever, she puts it in ahead of time so she knows exactly what she can have. I do it kind of as I go, and I think that's the key, because you do it like while you eat breakfast, you put it in. Lunch, you put it in, and then like while when you get to dinner, then it's like, maybe I have like 300 calories to my limit left, or 800 or 20. Can kind of decide what you do after dinner if you do anything. Obviously, as you exercise, like I have Apple Watch, so whenever we go for walks and stuff, it will adjust it syncs with the app. So if I walk for 2 miles, it will take that into account, so you can allow yourself a little extra calories. So it's I'm not doing anything tricky. I'm not doing, there's no secrets, there's no magic. It's literally just consistency. I was telling you before we came on a couple weeks ago, Thanksgiving weekend, I fucked up my sciatica pretty bad. Actually went to like an urgent care, and today was the first time I've done any sort of exercise in like 2.5 weeks. Haven't gained any weight, which I'm very happy about. In the last couple of weeks, despite eating cookies and stuff like that, but I've been eating at a calorie deficit for the better part of 8 or 9 months, so kind of have a built-in ability to do that a little bit. But I am. It sounds weird. As much as I love all the holiday treats and all that stuff, I'm looking forward to post Christmas when I can get back to something a little bit more normal. So
you are somewhat indulging to some degree, like somewhat.
Yeah, and I kind of told myself that going into the holiday season, because I love Thanksgiving dinner and pumpkin pie and turkey and stuffing and all that, and I love Christmas food, peppermints and candies and chocolates and cookies and all that kind of stuff. So I said, look, I'm not going to stop myself from eating it, but I'm going to kind of control myself. So, and it's sad to almost admit this, but like last year, like because my wife and I both work from home, right? And
she does too.
Yeah, she does too. Yeah.
Okay.
She has an office upstairs. I have an office in our basement, and so like if I go upstairs to go to the bathroom or grab a drink or something like that, literally every time I walked into the kitchen last year, I would grab like 2 cookies or 3 cookies. Like this year, I kind of reserved that to like I might have 1 at lunchtime, depending on what I eat at lunch, or I save that for because I do the 25 days of Christmas where I watch a different Christmas movie or show or something every day. Starting December 1st, I will kind of save my treats until we sit down and watch a movie or whatever. So it really is just kind of being aware, mindful, and being selective about when and what you do.
You're not doing any kind of fasting, are you? Like any sort of fasting at all?
Not really. I mean, I try to typically not eat anything past like 9 p.m.
Okay.
And then I have breakfast at around 8 a.m. the next day. So I'm not specifically like doing any sort of 18-hour fasting or anything like that, but I
Right.
try to just also for to avoid any like acid reflux or just you don't need calories that late in the day. I try to not really eat much past like 9 p.m. generally.
Oh, that makes sense. Hey, has Huddle Up turned into the Jim and Sean show now?
I mean, kind
of. Your brother Sean has been. I mean, I've been on there, more than anybody else outside YouTube this season, but it's been pretty much Sean and you just holding the fort down, bro.
Yeah, it's so that's kind of the funny thing about the sports show is I've been doing that for 13 years now, off and on. And originally the idea was because he and we look similar, we sound similar. And besides Notre Dame, we don't really like the same teams, right? Like he's a Flyers, Eagles, Phillies fan. I'm a Orioles, Cowboys, Capitals fan. So the idea of two guys that look and sound alike that are brothers, legit brothers, but pretty much hate each other's teams was kind of an interesting idea. But his schedule, I worked a 9-to-5 job. He worked like retail and service jobs. So he would work till late at night. We could never like get anything to work schedule wise. And so that's when I started working with friends. I ended up meeting you and Kyle and Mike and all of that. And it kind of expanded beyond Pennsylvania. And last year at times it was almost too many people. There was 6-7 people on the panel sometimes, and it got chaotic, and the shows got long, and and this year, Kyle's doing a lot of his own things with the Chargers podcast and the Jaguars podcast and all of that stuff, and I'm loving what he's doing. Mike has a new work schedule, so he's added a new feature late week on his own on the show. You have your recording schedules. Matt has a busier kind of work and home life. So the only consistent has really kind of been Sean. He's been able to carve out that time. His kids are a little bit older now, so they kind of get the bedtime routine.
I know that feeling because he has 2 kids. I have 2 kids. And I've noticed if you notice any of my podcast in 15 years, and my journey from getting married and into becoming a parent, and then that the time schedule where I couldn't record when I wanted to, and then as they get older, you start to open up a little bit of time here and there, and I get more opportunity to record. And now I can pretty much record when I want, pretty much.
Yeah.
Even there in the house, I can record a show.
Yeah. So, so it's been a lot of fun, to get to talk to him on a weekly basis. Obviously I love when you can pop in, and Kyle's surprised us a couple of weeks, and Mike's popped in from time to time from work. So, but it's been a lot of fun getting a chance to just kind of shoot the shit with him every week.
That's cool. That's really cool. Hey, are your Cowboys really gonna fuck me? I need 9 wins.
So basically, they have to win out, right? Chargers,
pretty much.
Commanders. Yeah. Here's the thing: if they get past this week, I think you'll be okay. Even with as sideways as this season has gone at times for the Cowboys, I don't see them losing to the Commanders or the Giants right now. The Chargers are the tough one because the Chargers still very much alive. They're in the 5 seed, but they're still
other team. They're
still. But they're still in the hunt for that Western Division title, and they're gonna kind of bring everything they have on Sunday, I think.
Yeah, what 2 back now of the Broncos? They have 10 wins now, right? Chargers pick up 10 wins.
I think that's right.
So 2 back still. With a game to go. Yeah, they got 10 wins, and they got 1 game against the Broncos coming up. I think week 17 or week 18.
Yeah, they're 10-4. Broncos are 12-2. But now the tricky thing is the Chargers already have the win against them earlier in the year.
That's true.
Chargers are actually undefeated in that division, by the way.
Yeah, not for nothing. Yeah.
So yeah, Broncos have Jags, Chiefs, and Chargers. Chargers have Cowboys, Texans, Broncos. So it's not out of the question. I think we'll know a lot more this week, especially if Denver gets the win over Jacksonville.
Yeah.
It's going to be a much harder road because you're going to expect a Mahomes-less Chiefs team to beat the Broncos. I don't know if that's going to happen.
Would you call Dallas' season at this point this year?
I'm
kind of on both ends of that.
It's complicated. It's complicated. I think the thing that is disappointing is the defensive side of the ball. Like that's the part that I think when you look at this Cowboys team, you know, they've scored over 400 points. They have the fourth highest scoring offense. The problem is they have the second worst scoring defense. So that's the frustrating part because you have a new head coach and I really had no expectations for Brian Schottenheimer and what this first year was going to be. I think I predicted them to finish 6-11. I was really kind of down on this team. And then, you know, they came out of the gate and they almost beat Philly. Then they got blown out by Chicago, which at the time seemed like an awful loss. Come to learn that was actually a pretty good loss. And they've surprised it at some points good, and they've surprised at some points bad. You know, that 2-game stretch where they beat Philly and Kansas City in a 4-day period looked really good. The Chiefs win looks less impressive now, but I think when you look back, there's going to be 2 losses that are probably going to haunt this team a lot, and that's going to be
the Cardinals
this past week against Minnesota, but the Monday night game against Arizona like a month ago, because otherwise your losses were kind of fine. Even the Carolina loss. I mean, the Carolina is not great, but they're almost they could be leading the South by the time we're out of this weekend.
They're frisky this year. They're frisky.
They're still alive in the South. You lost to the Broncos. You lost to the Eagles. You lost to the Lions, who are on that borderline to a playoff team. Bears. You tied to the Packers. Like there's games where it's like, man, if you just would have had a defense, you'd be okay. But that loss to the Cardinals, I turned it off in the first quarter. I
remember you told me that. I texted you like, I turned that shit off. I'm done.
Yeah, dude. We went to a movie. Our local movie theater does like these mystery Mondays where you pay $5. Really? Yeah, you pay $5. You have no idea what the movie is. It's a movie it's an upcoming movie, but you have no clue what it is until they air it. So my wife and we went out to the movie. I come home, and it was right after the game started. Cowboys, I think, had not done anything on their first 2 drives. Cardinals had gone up 10-0. And I looked at my wife and I was like, if the Cowboys don't score on this drive, I'm turning it off. And literally 2 plays later, Ferguson puts the ball on the ground. The Cardinals recovered and I turned it off and I didn't look back. And it was just like, because it's not like that sort of game is just, it's not forgivable. Like that's not forgivable. I can forgive a loss to the Lions. I can forgive a loss to the Bears or the Broncos. But when you finally kind of have some positive momentum and you blow it that bad, same thing with this Minnesota game. Like this past week, like you win against the Eagles and Chiefs in a 4-day span. You have a regular week off. You lose in kind of an embarrassing way to Detroit, but it's like you kind of still have your fate in your hands a little bit. You know, you kind of just need to win out. You have a bad Vikings team. They've already been eliminated from the playoffs. I get they have a good defense, but their offense isn't good. And you go out and JJ McCarthy looks like he's back in the fucking Rose Bowl, lighting up Alabama and lighting up Washington for the national championship. And he's doing the freaking gritty at the 3-yard line.
Oh my God. That was so embarrassing.
Like, come on, man.
So fucking embarrassing, dude.
But honestly, I've always said this about my sports teams is if it's a game 7, an elimination game, a playoff game, if you're gonna lose, don't give me hope, right? Don't give me hope. Don't string me along and rip my soul out at the end. So at the very least, I appreciate that the Cowboys, when I sat on Thanksgiving night after we beat the Chiefs, and I looked at my wife and I was like, look, this team kind of feels fun, and maybe they have a shot at making the postseason. And over the next 2 games, they just ripped the Band-Aid off and said, not so fast, my friend. We're gonna go quiet. We're gonna go quickly into the night. And that's what they did. So they didn't string me out till week 18 to crush my soul.
Well, you already know I'm a Cowboys fan for selfish reasons. I have a bet with a good friend of mine who happens to be a Cowboys fan himself. But he had doubts about them being good at all. He's one of the most skeptical Cowboy fans I know, and we had $100 bet that they would win 9 games. I said they'll go over that. He said under. So I need them to win out pretty much. So I'm a fan of my wallet. So I'll root for teams I hate just to make sure my wallet is stuffed.
Oh, dude, yeah, I'm 1,000%. I'm 1,000% a root for wallet guy. Like every year I played fantasy football. Like I have friends that are Eagles fans that won't draft Cowboys players or whatever. And I'm like, are you fucking? I'm here to make money. Like,
yes,
if
right.
If AJ Brown is there and he's the best receiver available, I take him. If Jaden Daniels is the best quarterback available when I'm drafting a quarterback, I'm going to take him. I don't give a shit who the team is or whatever. Like the Cowboys have never made me money. They've brought me pain, and I've paid money to buy their merch. Like. This is a money. If I'm playing fantasy football, I'm in it to make money. I don't care who the player is.
If you don't think I don't bet against the Giants, you're out of your fucking mind. Because I do. If I know there's a game they're going to lose and I can make money on that game, I'm going to take it. If they win, benefit for me. They won the game.
Yeah.
If they lose, hey, I made money. Come on now.
Exactly.
Chiefs dynasty. I shouldn't ask this to come to an end. It is at an end right now. This part of it, this bookmark of it now. But my thoughts were this, on Sunday. Okay, so we knew that no matter what happens, miss the playoffs, knocked out early, whatever, they were going to retool this team no matter what. That was the obvious plan. But I think the Mahomes injury changed that plan to now. I think this is now an excuse for the Chiefs to go for a full-out rebuild. They have a lot of things they got to work on the cap. You have guys on the roster that are getting older. Travis Kelce, while still pretty good, is older. He may not want to be around for a rebuild. Chris Jones may not be long for this world in KC. I compare it to the Boston Celtics situation with Jason Tatum when he got hurt like in the playoffs. They were never going to gut their roster if they won a championship.
Right.
But him getting hurt and him being out for the entire season with the same injury for the record gave them an excuse to start gutting the roster. And I think we are here with the Chiefs. I think this is actually a good thing for the team going forward because the signs of this are coming. And it's weird because even during the Super Bowl run, the 2 back-to-backs, there were signs of this starting to strip down the heels. A little bit. Oh, yeah. The wins weren't coming easy. You know what I mean? They were getting help with the referees and stuff. And then, obviously, the loss to Philadelphia in the Super Bowl last year, was a big sign. But I think bigger pictures is good for the Chiefs. Now, having said that, here's the thing. People compare this to the Patriots of the 2000s and the odds and when they won 10 years without winning a Super Bowl. The difference is the Patriots in those 10 years still won 2 Super Bowls and were always in the conversation. It wasn't like they dropped off and rebuilt and all this stuff. They retooled it, yes, but they were still in the Final Four almost every year. They're still in the AFC title games every year. Just lost to, who it was, the Ravens or whatever it may be. Chiefs missing the playoffs all entirely is it's a big downer. And that unlike the Pats who have Bill Belichick and a continuity there, we don't know what Andy Reid's going to do beyond this year. I'm not saying the speculation, but there's a chance that he may retire. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, big man's 67. He'll be 68 in March.
There you go.
And yeah, you don't know. It's going to be a really interesting offseason because if you listen, it depends who you listen to. Mahomes is either going to be ready for week 1 or 2, or he may not be truly ready until 2027, right? And that's kind of the great mystery, because we found out he's already had surgery, torn ACL and LCL. So there was more damage to the knee than kind of was originally thought. And I know people have talked about, well, Brady had the same injury at the same time of his career. Brady's also not a mobile guy.
And Brady hurt his knee in week 1.
That too. But I mean, I just mean in terms of recovery and who he's going to be post injury. Like Tom Brady, whether he tore his ACL or not, he's going to be a live in the pocket, die by the pocket, kind of more traditional quarterback. Patrick Mahomes, he'll be 31 by the time that the season begins. You now have a repaired knee, which I understand this injury is much less career threatening than it used to be because of modern medicine and everything. But Mahomes has been kind of the miracle man, and he's been the guy that's been, we jokingly have kind of referred to him as Gumby at times. Like he just he's almost seems superhuman. Has had recoveries from like high ankle sprains in like 6 days. Like the guy has been kind of a freak. But not that 30 or 31 is old, so to speak, but it's also not 25, Yeah. So that's something that's going to be kind of the tell is as he begins to rehab and work on getting back. As you get closer to draft season, I think you're going to start to see what the makeup of this team is going to be next year, because by draft time, they're going to have an idea of how his rehab and everything's coming along. And if it's not coming along the way they think it should be, or to be optimistic for an early part of the season next year, I think you see Chris Jones get moved. I think there's a possibility that Travis Kelce might retire, or maybe request to be moved as well. I'd kind of be shocked at this point to see him go somewhere else. But I could also see like a Gronk type of thing where he retires and then ends up somewhere, mid to late season.
Or
somewhere.
I could see him come back. That's depending on where the timetable is with Mahomes' injury. Because if you do the math, it's a math equation at this point now. So we're in December. There's a 9-12 with injury. Logically speaking, the earliest you come back is October, November. Logically speaking. Okay.
So see where Pat's at in November, see where the team's at in November, and if they're second or first in the division, Kelce comes back for the run. Which may in the long run be better for him. He's not young anymore. A little fresher arms and legs going into the late part of the season, a playoff push may be beneficial for him. But yeah, I think we'll know a lot more about where the Chiefs are at come draft season. Because if they start to move some big pieces, that's going to say to me
they're going to have to anyway.
Mahomes is not going to be ready next year.
But the thing is too, I can see a world where the Chiefs just say, "Hey, Pat, stay out, don't play next year." Like pull Jason Tatum.
Possibly. And
that I can see Kelce retiring, and then unretiring and come back a full year after. I can see that scenario playing
give
out.
it a year. Go get married, enjoy your early first year of married life, and come back the following
podcast with your brother, and then come back when you feel ready. Like Gronk did it, and he won a Super Bowl as a result.
Yeah, but so the dynasty's over. Yeah, this is the end of the dynasty. I'm not unfortunately. I'm not a Chiefs fan, like you. But I don't think we've seen the last of Mahomes and company as a contender. But also I do think that Andy Reid is another big question mark. How much does he want to chase? The win totals. Because let's be fair. He has already cemented his place as one of the best coaches of all time. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer and all of that. So none of that's in question. It's just a matter of what he wants to do with his time at this point of his career.
Well, I'm playing a little sports radio with you now. I'm glad you mentioned the contender thing. Let's take it a step further. If you had to put money in right now, does Pat Mahomes win one more Super Bowl? Look at the landscape of the NFL. Look at the Chiefs in this situation. Would you say he gets one more if he retires?
I think he'll get one more before he retires. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. Okay. We'll see. I mean, I I think it's likely, but I also can see a scenario where it doesn't happen because the league has
Yeah,
caught up to him.
it's certainly possible. But I mean, again, he'll be 31 next year. If he doesn't play at all in 2026, he'll be 32 by the time he takes the field again. That is still young in today's world. Like I mean, you know what? Dak Prescott's 36.
No, 32, 33.
Is he? Oh yeah, he's
Yeah.
32. Okay.
Yeah.
He's playing the best football of his career. He'll be 33 next year. So like Mahomes will be, you know, at the same point in 2027. So there's still plenty of time in front of him. You know, the Chiefs, I think, are a franchise that now they know what it takes to win. The AFC, at least this year, and again, things can change very quickly, but the AFC is wide open. It really is wide open. You know, Denver is the best of the bunch. People need to start putting respect on them. But
I after this week I did. Like what I was missing with Denver was I needed to see a full Bo Nix game, and I finally got that against Green Bay.
Yeah, and so people better start putting respect on them. But outside of that, I mean, New England's very good, but they got overconfident and they got caught this past week. Jacksonville's hot, Houston's hot, the Chargers are hot. They just keep finding ways to win. You know, the wild thing is the AFC North looks like you know, kind of the weakest of the bunch right now. The Steelers are winning by default. But nobody in that division scares me.
Who would have thought that the division has been probably the best in the last 10, 15 years consistently? Could be the worst in the league right now.
Yeah, it's not great. I think the NFC South still has that
NFC
moniker.
South still.
But they're at least the worst in the AFC. I mean, the Browns are just a dumpster fire. Cincinnati, I mean, the injury troubles are problematic, and you know,
the Burrow stuff.
Burrow's saying some cryptic things.
I think dude, I'm sorry. I think he's done for next year. I think he's going to request a trade. I think if the Bengals don't at least make it to the playoffs next year or win a playoff game, I see a world where we're sitting here in 2027. He asked for a trade.
Dude, I honestly, and Mike, if Mike listens to this, earmuff it or you know, take your headset off for a second. I think there's a scenario where he goes to management and is like, you have to help me. You have to help me this offseason. And if they don't, like, does he hold out? Does he try to get traded somewhere? Like, I feel like he's very frustrated. I feel like he's, and in a different way, he's almost, I feel like he's kind of hitting that point where LeBron hit with Cleveland before the decision. Because he's just
that's a great comp. That's a great comp.
He's like, I like, he wants to win a title. I think he wants to do it in Cincinnati. But if they're not going to help him, he's going to go do it somewhere else.
Hey,
man.
no one told him to sign T. Higgins that fucking contract. Why are you paying two receivers $20 million a year?
Right.
Okay. And it's malpractice. If you have a Joe Burrow, you don't need to be doing that stuff.
Right. Pay his protection. And that's a message to multiple teams, because there's multiple teams out there who have invested a ton of money at the quarterback position and have done nothing to protect them. You're literally lighting your team's money on fire. So you know, the injuries there and just the mismanagement there is brutal. Baltimore, that's the surprise. Like I thought Pittsburgh was going to struggle this year. Sean and I both on Huddle Up, we predicted them to finish sub 500. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. But I feel like that's more because of what the division isn't than what the Steelers are.
That's right. Yeah.
But Baltimore is the real surprise there. That thing has just gotten very.
I think Lamar's hurt. I think Lamar's hurt. I also think there's a real disconnect between Lamar and John Harbaugh.
I think so too, and I know Harbaugh and the ownership of the Ravens are very good friends. Or excuse me, Harbaugh and like the front office there are like personal friends. That's a messy situation because what do you do? Do you fire your friend or do you get rid of your franchise quarterback? That's a tough call. I think that's going to be something to watch in Baltimore coming out of this season.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna be a very weird and fast and very cryptic offseason. I think keep an eye on some of the things going on there.
There's a lot of things happening, and we saw tonight Chicago exploring possibly moving to Northwest Indiana. By the way,
really?
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that come through, but that the new stadium deal is apparently not going to be like a priority for the city next year, and they're exploring other options, including Northwest Indiana.
Wait, so are they going to be like the New York Giants playing in Jersey?
Sounds like it.
Jesus,
sounds like
stupid.
Yeah, it's freaking wild, man.
Things are weird, man.
It's already wild enough that to know that Chicago, like the Bears, won't be playing in Soldier Field. But the idea that they may not even be in Chicago
that's
proper
weird.
Is really weird.
I don't like that idea.
I mean, Dallas has played in Irving and Arlington for most of their.
How far are those places from Dallas, though?
No, I mean they're in the Dallas metro.
Okay, then I mean it's not bad.
But
playing on a whole other state though. That's just,
yeah. I mean it's weird.
Here's the thing: the Giants thing is not so weird now because I went to MetLife Stadium for the first time ever back in August.
Yeah,
it's literally like 5 to 10 miles from New York City.
Oh yeah, it's literally just across the line.
Yeah, so I'm like, it's not a big it's massive, but it's still weird.
Hey, had you never been to like the Meadowlands before? No shit.
I
had only been there for the college football kickoff classic in 2002. Notre Dame played Maryland there at the old stadium.
Mm-hmm.
That was the only time I've ever been there.
Oh well. By the way, it's a great stadium for concerts too. For the record,
I believe that. The way that it's shaped, I feel like
the sound was amazing. The sound was incredible. And we were sitting like literally like facing the stage, way in the back, and system down in Corn sounded amazing from where I'm sitting at. Nice. So, speaking of Indiana, let's go to South Bend. Are you still mad? Are you still pissed off at Notre Dame getting snubbed? Because I did that snubbed also too.
They absolutely got snubbed. And I'm frustrated at it. I'm in a much better place about it than I was a week ago. But yeah, look, there's no way to slice it. They absolutely got snubbed. And they got snubbed by Alabama and the SEC bias of the committee and ESPN. Because there's like I'm not even mad that Miami got in ahead of them because of the head-to-head. What bothers me about it is from the first rankings that came out this year until the second to last ones, Notre Dame was above Alabama. Notre Dame was above Miami. Notre Dame was above BYU. Notre Dame was above Texas and Vanderbilt. And every week the committee sat in front of us and they told us that, based on the eye test, based on what we're seeing week in and week out with the games and all of this, Notre Dame's better. There's no competition between Notre Dame and Alabama and Miami and this and that. They're not even in the same conversation. Cool. So we're starting to feel pretty confident, right? And then all of a sudden in the second to last week, after Notre Dame goes out to Stanford, and I'm not saying Stanford's a good team, so let me make sure I get that out of the way.
Yeah.
But they went out to Stanford on Thanksgiving weekend. They beat them handily by 25 plus points, coming off of a 70-7 win over, again, bad team Syracuse the week prior. Notre Dame, over the weeks since the first college football playoff rankings came out, all they did was beat every opponent on their schedule by an average of 30 points or more. Mm-hmm. Okay. In that same time frame, Miami had lost twice to unranked teams. Alabama had lost once to Oklahoma, who's overrated as fuck because they're in the SEC.
I agree with that.
But they lost to Oklahoma. They struggled to beat South Carolina, who stinks, LSU, who doesn't have a head coach, and a bad Auburn team who didn't even qualify for a postseason. They had to go for it on fourth down late in the game to take the lead and beat Auburn. And that was the committee's justification for moving Alabama above.
There's only one reason why Bama should not be in the playoff, and you didn't even mention it. They have the worst loss in the fucking top 10.
Exactly.
To my school.
But I'm even just talking about that pocket from when the first rankings came out until the end. Like Alabama, the eye test was worse, but they moved it. And in hindsight, this is what kind of bothers me the most. In hindsight, I should have realized Notre Dame was screwed before conference championship weekend, because the minute they moved Alabama above Notre Dame, they told us that Notre Dame was done for, because there was a couple scenarios that could play out, because Notre Dame and Miami didn't play conference championship weekend, right? So at that time, when they moved Alabama above Notre Dame, it went Alabama, Notre Dame, BYU, Miami. BYU was playing in the Big 12 title game. Alabama was playing in the SEC title game. So when Alabama lost, all common sense says they should have dropped. But I guess now we know the committee had no intention.
Right.
So Alabama was baked in at number 9. Notre Dame was at 10. If BYU wins, they won the Big 12. They have to get in. Notre Dame's out. And then what we saw happen was BYU lost, so they dropped. That for the first time put Notre Dame and Miami next to each other, and the committee had their out. So Notre Dame was cooked before we even got to conference championship weekend, and I'm actually mad at myself that I didn't recognize it prior to that. But what just bothers me about it, and I've said it for years, and people have tried to tell me I'm crazy. People tried to tell me I have a tinfoil hat on. The committee, especially this year, chaired by the athletic director of Arkansas. Guess what conference they play in? Is the SEC. The SEC and ESPN are in the biggest bed with one another, have the most financial to gain. Every team that makes the postseason wins that conference or that team or conference, depending where you're at, $4 million. Okay. It was mutually beneficial for Alabama to get in over Notre Dame, because if Notre Dame gets in, Notre Dame gets the money. If Alabama gets in, the SEC/ESPN get that money.
Yeah.
And it is what it is, man. Like I was pissed about it. It was the first time in a very long time when I saw Alabama's picture come on at 9. I literally felt my blood pressure rising, because I knew Notre Dame was done for. I'm obviously much calmer now. And here's the thing that I'm really excited about. I think Marcus Freeman will 1,000% be back. I don't believe any of the Giants, Michigan, any of those other rumors around.
You'd be big mad if he left to the Giants, wouldn't you?
I mean, I would be very upset, but I literally have no fear of that happening. I think Marcus Freeman is locked in. I think he wants to win at Notre Dame. And also, like, I saw a quote from one of the Notre Dame recruits for this class that's coming in on the early enrollment in January. Mm-hmm. He said that him and the other recruits in the incoming class, they want to make sure that this doesn't happen again. I think Notre Dame is going to be, if not the most dangerous team, one of the 3 most dangerous teams in 2026. I think this potential revenge tour. Because when you get past those first couple of weeks, they came out of the gate, they had their 2 hardest games, they lost by a total of 4 points. It is what it is. And I know people say, well, if you don't want to get locked out, just beat Miami or Texas A&M. Cool. We lost by 4 points. One of Miami's wins was by 7. Alabama got blown out of the water by Florida State, who stank. Like, don't talk to me about Alabama lost 3 times. Notre Dame lost twice. Like, I remember when losses used to mean something too.
That's what I said.
So, but after those first 2 weeks, after they kind of recollected themselves, Notre Dame's defense got better. The offense got clicking. You had a freshman quarterback, a bunch of underclassmen on the defensive side of the ball, and a brand new defensive coordinator. Once everybody started working together, they became one of the scariest teams in the country this year. Also, and again, you can call me biased, you can call me a homer, hit the button, homer, but Notre Dame had the 4th highest odds to win the national championship going into Selection Sunday. The SEC has not won a national title in multiple seasons. You don't think that the committee and ESPN and company, even if ESPN's not involved, you don't think the committee chaired by somebody on the SEC didn't push for a team that they had an out to get one of the most dangerous and best teams in the country out of the picture that wasn't in the SEC. It just stinks, man. It just stinks. If I had a dream for college football, it would be that just the 12 best teams get in. Like that would be the real dream scenario, and just let everything play out.
Well, unfortunately, with this format, you're not going to get 12 best teams ever, because as long as you're allowing other schools in other conferences that are not part of the Big Four and they're automatic bids, they're not Bro, they're not better than half the teams in the Big Ten, half the teams in the SEC, a chunk
Well,
of
the
the Big
funny
12.
thing is, did you see? You probably didn't because I think you were on air. There's a new provision for next year, and the funny part is for the last week because as Notre Dame's athletic director was doing his media tour, there was a leak about this memorandum in the contract beginning next year, where if Notre Dame is in the top 12, they automatically get locked in.
I heard about that.
And everybody was like, oh, Notre Dame's trying to play by their own rules. There's an article on Yahoo Sports tonight. I shared it to the Huddle Up page. I shared it to the group.
Okay.
It was actually spearheaded by all 12 conferences, but really powered by the SEC and the Big Ten, because the Big Ten and the SEC actually kind of held college football at gunpoint and said, if you don't agree to these terms, we're going to go do our own postseason. And that's the postseason that's really going to matter. So basically what it is beginning next year, the champions of the SEC, ACC, Big 12, and Big 10 have to get in. And then the highest ranked group of 5, I guess group of 6, because technically Pac-12 will be back next year. So the best of the rest champion will get in. And then if Notre Dame is in the top 12, they would automatically get in. And then you would have the at-larges. But so like this year, for example, that would have meant that 8-5 Duke winning the ACC would have been in. James Madison would be out. And then Notre Dame, because they were 11th, would have gotten in over Tulane. Or excuse me, over Miami. So we're already going to see changes next year. And the bottom line is, and I know people are mad at Notre Dame having this provision, but I'm like, it's basically their conference championship, right? Yeah. So, and here's the thing, they still have to be in the top 12, right? So even if Notre Dame is, 10-2, and they're on that 11, 12, 13 bubble, the committee theoretically could just move them to 13th. Notre Dame fell 3 spots this year by winning their last 2 games. So don't act like it's impossible for Notre Dame to find themselves out either. But ultimately, I love that. I love the way Notre Dame handled it. I'm extremely proud of the way that they handled the situation. I think they've turned negatives into positives. I highlighted on Huddle Up last night they went bowling this year. They did a competitive bowling event where they raised like money and goods and things for charities in the South Bend area. So I'm really proud. I was pissed last week. I'm extremely proud. But I am not that I'm trying to hurry time, but I'm very excited for August to get here and see a new Notre Dame season.
Yeah. We making the Sheronne Moore scandal, man. Oh my god.
Oh my god. It is
disgusting.
Oof. It's ugly. So it's really odd because a couple weeks ago I remember seeing like a tweet from it was an Ohio State fan, I believe. And it said Sheronne Moore could be in trouble. I was like, okay.
How long ago was it? How long ago?
What's that?
How long ago was this?
Month and a half ago. And I thought, man, this is just Ohio State fan, just stirring up rivalry crap or whatever. And then I'm sitting there on Wednesday of last week. I get like a notification on my phone. It was like Sheronne Moore fired with cause.
Like for what?
Okay. So I open it up and yeah, you start to hear some of these details, and then all of a sudden the news breaks about him being arrested and threatening to kill himself, threatening him to harm the woman he's having an affair with, and then a couple of days later you have the arraignment where the guy who's literally was just on the sideline coaching during the Ohio State Michigan game, keeping the Buckeyes from getting to the midfield logo, is sitting in a white jumpsuit on a Zoom call. Talk about surreal, man. My wife is a huge Michigan fan, and I've become almost like a the de facto, Michigan supporter because of it. It was such a weird situation. And ultimately, here's the deal. I feel terrible for his wife and kids. Because I mean, younger guy. I mean, he's not even 40.
He's like 37, I think. 37,
yeah, something like
38.
that. He's like 38, 37, 38. Wife, young kids, 3 kids. Youngest kid's like 8 months old. So that I feel terrible for them. And I look, people's business, and I'm not here to pass judgment, but like, it's something like when my wife and I, we've been together over 15 years, and something we said to each other years ago, like even before we were married, was like, look, if you're ever going to cheat, let's just split up. Like, because when you've hit that point already, like your marriage is already busted, right?
Yep.
Like that commitment, all of that's already busted.
That's
so
why
it's like,
I have no respect. If what played out is true, like what's being alleged and whatnot is true to the T, I have no sympathy for him whatsoever, because
no.
not only did this, you destroyed your fucking family. Okay,
Yeah.
Own this, take accountability for it, and that's it.
Yeah, and here's the deal, man. Like, and Jim Harbaugh was on Dan Patrick on Tuesday.
Mhm.
And Dan asked him, he's like, have you talked to Sheronne's, and like all this has gone down? He's like, yeah, we've texted, and he's like, I told him I'm praying for him. He said it's the worst thing that's ever happened in his life. Sheronne said it's like the worst thing that's ever happened. And it's like, man, first off, you did it to yourself. You lit your own fuse, man. So number one priority, first off, because it does sound like there is some mental health issues, whether it's because of or in addition to the affair and the breakdown of that relationship and whatever. Get your head right, and deal with your family, because um you know whether his wife takes him back or not, that's up to her.
Yep.
Whether his kids want to have a relationship with him, that'll be up to them. But that's priority number one is get your freaking head right. But it's ugly, man. Um, and I feel horrible. I feel horrible for his wife and kids. Um, we're gonna learn more about probably the relationship between him and the staffer. And here's the thing, like, obviously if he became erratic and violent and stuff like that, I that part I feel bad for her in. But I also don't really feel bad for a person who willingly enters into a relationship with a person who's in a marriage and has a family. Um, because you are making a poor choice there,
Yeah.
as well. So it's sad, it's ugly. And then away from him and the ugliness of that, that's an ugly spot for Michigan, who just has kind of another black mark on that university and on that program over the last couple of years. But the funny thing about it is I've seen a lot of people try to say, oh, nobody's going to go coach. There's probably only a handful of coaches that wouldn't leave their job to coach at the University of Michigan right now.
Yep.
Hopefully Marcus Freeman, Ryan Day, Kirby Smart probably doesn't. Lane Kiffin probably doesn't. And that might be it. I know Kalen DeBoer addressed it this week. He's like, I'm not talking to anybody and I'm happy here and blah, blah, blah. If Alabama loses by like 30 on Friday night to Oklahoma, Kalen DeBoer might sing a different song. That's all I'm
I
saying.
agree with that 100%. I agree with that.
Because, like, not that Michigan isn't a tough place to coach and be. I think it's just different there. I think they admire football a different way, at the University of Michigan than they do at Alabama.
Mhm.
Both very important, both very serious fan bases.
It's
But
different.
Michigan, we have what, 2.5 weeks until the portal opens. Michigan has to act quickly. I also want to commend Biff Poggi, who is the current interim head coach, who's in charge of that program, getting ready for the Cheez It Bowl against Texas. Because he had kind of addressed the situation in the press conference this week, and he's like, "Look," he goes, "We're all shocked, we're all confused, we're all angry, but he's like, the number one priority is making sure these kids are okay and listening to them, and basically kind of counseling them through this." And he's like, "We're not forcing anybody to play that doesn't want to, but it seems like he's a really great leader and figure for that team and those kids in that
Right.
program right now, who, look, man, um I I had a tough family situation with my dad when I was 25.
Mhm.
And it didn't make sense at 25. I don't know how kids who are 18, 19, 20 can handle what happened with their football coach, a coach that they came to a school to play for, and now have to deal with this. So having a leader like Biff Poggi, I think is probably the best guy to be at the forefront of that team right now.
Yeah. It's a very ugly situation though, but they'll get through it.
Yeah.
It's still a great job to have. Once they clean up the, there's a lot of black cloud around that school for the last couple of years now. It's almost easy to forget they won a championship 2 years ago.
Right.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
think, I think, and I know one of the names that has kind of been brought up as a potential candidate is Jesse Minter, who was the defensive coordinator there
Mhm.
under Jim Harbaugh. Not that he wouldn't be a good head coach. I think for Michigan right now, you kind of have to get away from everything Harbaugh. I think you need to
Yeah.
bring somebody from the outside. Like I just think to to begin to kind of clear the air in Ann Arbor, you kind of have to go outside your own box.
You know what sucks too also, not to bring race in this too also, but Sheronne Moore, black man, a lot of black men don't get these kind of opportunities, not only to coach, but to coach this job.
Yeah.
This guy had one of the best. Michigan's easily one of the 5 or 10 best jobs in all of college football.
Yeah.
And you blew the opportunity because of chasing tail.
Right. And I get it. It's an addiction. It's an addiction like a drug, like alcohol, like gambling, like it really is. And I think that's a societal problem that,
Yes, it is.
People don't think about enough. Food's an addiction.
Yeah.
We only try to tackle drug addiction or alcohol addiction. We don't try to tackle gambling or sex or food or any of those other vices.
Right.
But yeah, and I saw a tweet, and it was kind of like, it makes you chuckle, but it kind of breaks your heart in the same way, because you look at kind of the downfall when Juwan Howard was the head basketball coach there, and kind of snapped, and I think it tried to like choke an assistant coach or something like that. And now this, and you have your first black head coach in basketball and football, and somebody's like, they're not going to hire another brother for 100 years at Michigan.
You got to be like, I hate to bring race into it, but you got to be, a lot of times black people feel like they have to be extra careful.
Yeah. You do. And I've obviously, I'm not saying that from a place of experience, but I have a number of black friends, and like just from talking to my friends and talking to people and listening to people in the world, that is the sad reality of the country that we live in, is like, spoken or sadly so many times unspoken, there's a reality that an entire group of people have to hold themselves to a different level. And when one person makes a mistake, it affects so many more people.
Yeah.
Like, one white dude fucks up, nobody fucking cares. The same thing with women too. Like, I mean, like, when one whenever you see like one person, like one woman like falsely accuse somebody of rape,
Right.
like then it's like, well, every woman who says they were raped is lying. Like, no, it means that person was lying, you fucking idiot. Like, just because she lied doesn't mean that these hundreds and thousands of other women lied. Just because this one guy fucked up his entire life and career doesn't mean that every other person fucked up and is that same person. I hate, and I say these things understanding that I say it from a place of privilege.
Yeah. Just change gears here. John Cena retired after this week. What'd you make it? Were you okay with the finish?
Yeah, I actually was.
So was I. What am I minority on this? Brother, what am I minority here? Because everybody else hates it.
I think too many people just expected that last feel-good moment, especially because he lost the Intercontinental title at Survivor Series. Well, they're not going to make John lose his final 2 matches. But we were talking about it on 3 Count last week. And part of it was like, well, he can't give up, right? Like he can pass out, but he can't submit. And it's like, bullshit. He hasn't quit. He hasn't submitted in over 20 years. That's the finish. Like that's the way this has to go down. That because when you even go back to that first night, I think it was in Montreal, that he announced that he was retiring, that he was going to go on this retirement tour. He has said the one constant, everything that he has said from that moment was, I don't want to retire, but I'm retiring because I can't do this anymore, because I can't do it at the level that I require of myself and the fans require me of. So it is poetic that in his final moment, like, he could have kept fighting, but how many times did he fight out of the sleeper to end up back in the sleeper? Right. So no matter what he was going to do, he was going to end up back in that spot because he couldn't win. So there's a moment of clarity. And I think I saw somebody say it, and he even tweeted out the picture. And you're a Star Wars guy, right?
Kind of. My kids are.
You at least know the original movies when Obi-Wan got struck down by Vader.
Right.
There's a moment of clarity where he turns the saber off and he smiles because he's accepted his fate.
Yeah.
That's what John Cena did. He knows, I'm at the end. That there's nothing more I can do. That this is it. This is the moment. And I'm trapped. I can't do it anymore. This is the end. And he tapped out. He gave up. And the thing is, nobody was happy when The Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. But WWE did something with it.
I was.
Well, right. Pockets of people. But overall, people weren't happy. The streak should have gone on forever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. My whole thing when that happened is do something with it. And WWE did something with it. They made it matter. And here's the deal. You have a list of people coming up over the next couple of years that are going to be retiring. The Grim Reaper's coming for all of them, right? Like
that's a little morbid, bro. That's a little morbid.
Gunther's that dude now, right? Because he already did it to Goldberg. Now he's done it to John Cena. Guess what? AJ Styles, Chris Jericho, Brock Lesnar, Sheamus, Randy Orton.
Maybe.
Guess what? You got your new legend killer, man. Gunther's gonna run all of these dudes out, and that's what makes it matter.
And that was my point too. Also, is that it's going to make sense if they run with this with Gunther going forward. But this is why I get mad at the IWC all the time. Is that okay? Fine, you get mad. I'm not saying not to get mad about it, but at the same time, it's not your story to tell. It's theirs,
right? And it's okay to get mad. That's the point.
Yeah.
Like if WWE's not making, the thing that bothers me with fans and fan reactions is, for so long the thing was WWE can't make heels. WWE can't make us feel anything. Oh, it's so predictable. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's boring. Oh, it doesn't make, it doesn't evict the emotions out of me like it did when I was younger. Yo, they made you big mad. They had to escort Gunther out of the building and out of DC on Saturday night.
Wow, really?
Yeah, like there was like because like the arena is right down there in Chinatown in DC, and people were coming out of the building. They're pissed. Like there was actually security, like getting through the crowds to get him out of there. You've made a heel now, right? Like and I get the cool thing is fuck you Triple H and people chanting AEW and this and that and the other, but like listen to the reaction Gunther got on Monday in Hershey. Like you have a heel now, and a guy who like, and I love like he's interacting with that kid during the show, and he's standing on the steps and he's doing the, and he's. My biggest complaint with Gunther a couple years ago was like he's great in the ring, but he has no charisma. That motherfucker has grown into a WWE superstar.
Yeah, he has. He really has.
And you when he came back with the old music, I'm like, this motherfucker's about.
That was great. I popped that.
To make some
I
money.
popped that. I popped for that when I saw that. What is what does John Cena mean to you? So your story with wrestling is that you did check out for a little while during the Cena years, but you came back during the Cena years.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
So it was early 2000s, like when I went to college in 2003, from then till WrestleMania 26 times. So probably about 6 years. I kind of checked out. So a lot of that was, the early part of the Cena career. John Cena is without question one of the best WWE superstars of all time. I mean, everything about him is sports entertainment. Everything about him is what the WWE is and breathes on. And I've never seen somebody be able to handle whatever the crowd is giving them like John Cena. Because it didn't matter if the crowd's chanting "Let's go Cena," he's in. Cena sucks, he's in. Like it didn't matter. He evoked emotion out of every single person, every single building he was ever in. And I know like there was always the jokes about Big Match John and always burying people, and that first off is not his call. But secondly, he might be the last greatest superstar.
I agree with that 100%.
Because Roman Reigns, it's different. And like he had a period of time where it was cool to hate him, then it was cool to love him. And even though like the bloodline thing was like the greatest story ever told, John Cena did it for over 20 years, and I just don't think you're going to get anything like that, at least for a while. So it's special. It was another one of those like weird ones where you're reminded you're old. Like, like watching him, the Undertaker goodbye was tough. Like,
yeah.
And Cena was one that was a weird emotion, knowing that it was his last match. It's a strange feeling. But I think it's cool that he kind of got to do the farewell tour. It would have been nice if they could have negotiated a few more dates out of it. I know like there was that, he wanted to work 200, the WWE gave him 38. Like, I think if you could have gotten like maybe 70, I think that would have been a really good number. I think you could have gotten a little more life out of the heel thing. But
the thing is the heel didn't make sense. Well, it made sense at the time, but what didn't make sense was them turning him back to babyface with no explanation. He just turned back.
Yeah, and that's they didn't give themselves enough time.
No rhyme, no reason. And this is the problem when you working on the calendar like this.
Yeah.
Yep. And we see the calendar, like not them seeing it, but we as fans, there's dates. We have 10 dates left. Like, oh shit. So
right, like
now
it's like, how are we gonna do this?
Yeah, it's flawed.
It is. now here's the deal. Like the way that they executed it and they did the tournament and all of that, Gunther was the right guy. The finish was the right way.
Agreed.
I still think that you could have done it differently. You could have just had him say Saturday, December 13th is going to be my last match. And we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it my way, right? And he just comes out and he open challenges it, and you get Chris Jericho, or you get Randy Orton, or you get, find a way to make a deal with Tony Khan and bring in Adam Copeland.
Yeah.
And you could have done it that way, and then John gets the win and goes off into his good night, takes off the wristbands, rah, salute, bye, everybody. But the minute you locked into the tournament and the minute you locked in Gunther, what happened Saturday was the way it had to go down.
And predictable too, honestly.
Yeah. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes predictable's okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I asked this question on the wrestling pod earlier. I'll ask you this. Because obviously he'll be a Hall of Famer. Not a question. Who should induct him?
Ooh. In a different world, Vince McMahon.
I said the same thing too. But unfortunately,
world, Vince McMahon.
But unfortunately,
in reality, Randy Orton.
Yep. That's what Rob said too.
Yeah. Yeah, Randy's his longest running, arguably greatest rival. So yeah, I think it's got to be Randy.
Yeah.
Unless Vince gets acquitted of all accusations in the next 112 days or whatever it's going to be, because I think
it's starting soon, right?
Yeah, I believe. I don't know the actual timeline on any of those situations, but I think Cena probably gets inducted this year. I think it's going to be an immediate induction into the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
So yeah, it should be Randy.
Do you think we'll see Cena again? Like involved? I mean, a random match, or maybe just no.
No, I think he will make appearances. He signed a 5-year ambassador deal. I think he'll make appearances for the company. I think you'll see him maybe from time to time on a panel or making a special announcement or something like that. But I think it's suit and tie John. I don't think we ever see hat, wristbands, jorts, any of that. I really don't think we see another match of his again. And here's the thing. I would actually be very disappointed if we get another John Cena match, because for everybody saying, well, this was a stab in the back because he was never give up and then he gave up. Here's the thing, the thing that I always felt like you could respect out of John Cena, the character, is that if he said something, that was the truth. And if for him to wrestle again, for any reason, would make all of this, all the money people spent on tickets, on merchandise and all of that, it would make it a big lie, because it wasn't the last match. It wasn't the last time. So I think we see John Cena, but I don't think we never see big match John again.
Yeah, I mean, you could be right. I will say as much about John Cena. He wasn't my guy, because obviously when I stopped watching in 2002, he got moved to the main roster literally months after I stopped watching. And by the time he came back in 2019, he was already pretty much gone. He didn't come back to 2021 for the last one. So all my Cena moments I experienced in real time were in the last 5 years, honestly.
Right.
Having said that, he's still Mount Rushmore. He is everything I thought Hulk Hogan was as a kid. John Cena was really that guy. You get the feeling that the person we've seen John Cena in the ring, the guy he is, Make-A-Wish, that's real. That's who he really is. You get the feeling that is not some facade. That is who he is. He's a very authentic guy.
Yeah.
And he's gonna be missed. He's gonna be missed, definitely, man. And I'm glad it's gonna fly.
Tim told us a story on 3 Count last week. in 2005 or whatever, when the rap album came out. Tim grew up in the Virginia area, Richmond, Virginia area, and was at a signing. Part of Cena was promoting the album, and it was one of these deals at like a music store, and you had to pay ahead of time for you could either do a autograph, a picture, or a combo, right? But you had to pay ahead of time to get in line, whatever. And there was a mom and her son who were in line that didn't know that it was that you had to buy ahead of time, and they're getting up near the front of the line, and I guess, like, the security was like, "Did you guys buy a photo or whatever?" And they're like, "What are you talking about? We're just here to meet John Cena." And they're like, "Well, no, you had to prepay." And the kid had the copy of the album in his hand. He was going to have him sign it, and as security was like getting ready to like remove them from the line, because John saw this, they were only a couple people deep, and goes, that kid has the golden ticket, meaning he has the album. So brought him up, signed, took pictures with and Tim's like, that will always be like his memory, which is cool. Like, you don't always see that, especially now when everything is, autographs, tickets are purchased for hundreds of dollars through Fanatics premium events and blah blah blah. Like that's a pretty cool. And I'm like, man, that kid was probably what, 7, 8 years old. That kid's now 30, 31. I guarantee you he was probably watching Saturday Night with tears in his eyes as John Cena retired, because that's a lifetime. It's a core memory.
It's a great story. Well, yeah. You're not following Rob Reiner tragedy, are you?
I mean, I've seen the news, and it's god awful, man. It sucks. Like I saw like the original tweets about it the other night, when they're said there was an incident at his home and this and that, and then you find out him and his wife were killed, and then you find out it's his son, and it's just it's heartbreaking, man.
It's like a slam dunk case here, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, everybody deserves their day in court and all of that. Certainly let the legal process take hold, but by all accounts, it looks like that's what it is. And man, it's tragic. It's tragic. And the unfortunate thing is it's a reminder. We just kind of talked about it a couple minutes ago, that this country does not do anywhere close to enough for mental health. This country does not do anywhere near enough for handling addiction and handling mental health issues. And I just continue to ask the question, like, what's it going to take? Like, what is it going to take?
It takes people personal. It takes people being hit personally to register. If you're disconnected from it, you're not going to feel it. It has to be felt before people take it seriously.
But we've literally seen actors, musicians, celebrities taken because of it. We've seen
but it's not personal.
Hundreds of thousands of kids. Like,
so not to cut you off, but say I'm someone that's like, I don't care about that stuff, celebrity, blah, blah. But if someone like my kid or my spouse or my cousin is affected by it, maybe that wake me up. It has to be personal. Maybe. That's the problem. But that's a bad place. That's still a bad place to be in,
because like, I mean, you think about like, things like Sandy Hook and count the school shootings and like, if you can't look at images or even just the notion of a second grader going to school and never coming home, and that doesn't make an emotion for you, I don't understand. Like, I don't have kids. I don't have kids. My wife and I made a decision to not have kids, but I have friends who have kids, and I have nephews, and like I have so many people in my life who have kids, and I mean, I have coworkers who I've been with for 4 years, and I see every day, and we all work from home, and I've literally seen their kids grow up. I have some of my best friends I've literally seen had pictures sent from like the hospital when their kids are born, and they're now in grade school, and I'm going, how does not everybody have some sort of connection there or your favorite actor, your favorite music, like something has to click, and it just never does. It just never does, man. It's so tragic. It really is. And but also that I don't know why. I've thought of it random times over the years when we have these celebrity incidents, but like like video of like Billy Crystal like arriving to the house, and like TMZ is like tweet like, what the fuck is TMZ a thing? We don't. I don't need to see Billy Crystal heartbroken coming to the house of his dear friend who's been slain in their home. Like I don't need that. I don't need to hear the 911 call of of them when they called 911 because Hulk Hogan was having a heart attack. I don't need to hear the 911 call of the Sheronne Moore. Like what? Like that none of that stuff makes sense to me. The fact that there's an industry for catching people in these the Andy Dick overdose last week.
I saw that last couple days ago. Oh my god, it's crazy.
Hell, man. Like, why are we sharing this video? Like, what? Like the obsession and the culture around these.
We're in an era of narcissism.
It is. It's insane. Like, let people grieve. It's okay if you're CBS Nightly News comes on the air and actor Andy Dick was had to be rushed for an emergency overdose situation today, and reportedly in good spirits, and we wish him the best on his recovery. Like that's okay, but like I don't need to see the video of him of friends trying to revive him with Narcan. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah, it's so bad.
It's awful.
So bad. Were you a fan of Rob Reiner's work?
Yeah, I mean, first off, loved All in the Family. I grew up watching reruns of it. But and rewatching as I've seen it shared many times, the final scene with him and Archie, is just it's so heartbreaking and so loving, and probably something a lot of people can learn from right now. And yeah, I mean the countless movies that he was in and directed and produced, just absolutely tremendous. And by all accounts, and look, I know his politics didn't always mesh with a lot of people, but I think about the contrast between the reaction to this and reaction to another very public passing in recent months. And in light of that situation, Rob Reiner, there's tweets and clips of him saying that, like, look, I didn't agree with this individual's politics, but what happened to them should never happen. They should be allowed to say the things that they want and they believe. That's, at least in theory, what makes this country really, really good, and that's what it's supposed to be like. And then in contrast, we're seeing a group of people not react in similar ways, and it's just another harsh and unfortunate reminder that we live in kind of this bizarro world. But yeah, it really sucks, man. He seemed by all accounts like a really genuine person.
Oh, without question. I mean, I'm a huge fan of his work. I mean, two of my top 10 favorite movies of all time he directed: Princess Bride and When Harry Met Sally. I also follow his politics. Like whenever he was on Bill Maher, whenever he was on Piers Morgan, he was doing a random interview with some show, I will watch it because he's on there, because I always love to hear his point of view on the world at large. So he was definitely someone that I was interested in, not just because of his talent, but because of his candor.
Very well spoken too.
Very well spoken, and very nice guy. Cole's a very nice guy too. Also, very genuine.
And man, the clip and it going around of I guess it was 3 days before his dad Carl Reiner's passing. They reenacted the last scene from Princess Bride together, and now I'd like to believe somewhere in another form they've been reunited. So
he also did directed a documentary on not documentary, it's actually a biopic on Lyndon Johnson, actually, about 10 years ago.
Wow, okay.
And I think Woody Harrelson played Lyndon Johnson. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, I should.
I gotta watch that. I gotta watch that. All right, this is why we're here today. We would talk about this weeks ago. Top 5 favorite Christmas songs, personal for us. So I got a couple of honorable mentions here, which we'll get to after.
Okay.
We'll go 5 to 1. I have mine in order. Your 5th favorite Christmas song of all time is what, Jim?
So I feel like this one, and you know, we've done music lists on this show on Discussions with the Nobody that will eventually we'll come back.
I'm not saying a word. I'm not saying anything, Jim.
I appreciate that.
I just missed it. You know what I mean?
I know, and dude, Tim, I had to laugh. Tim on 3 Count the last time I did an episode last November.
A year? Damn.
Yeah, it's been over
Fuck
a year.
Me, bro.
But Tim had listened to it and was like, dude, this episode is some of your best work. Because I got personal about things. And it's been a hard year. Hopefully, and maybe that's one of my goals for 2026 is to recommit to that a bit. But yeah, like we on that show we've done music lists and they're always fluid, right? Like we've done like the top 10 Queen songs, and if we redid it today, like there may be 1 or 2 that get moved.
Tweaks.
So my number 5 is one, and I think I can't remember, this might have sparked this topic, is one that I'm like, this year especially, and then last year a bit, has really become like an earworm, and when I hear it, it makes me feel good. It makes me feel happy. Is Underneath the Tree by Kelly Clarkson.
That song through the years has really grown on me.
It's so good.
I used to be annoyed by that, and then like I think it was
when it first came out, I'm like,
I think it's after COVID. It really, okay. Now I get it. Plus, I'm a little biased to Kelly because my sister's on the show with her. They're best friends on the show, American Idol. So, I'm a little biased to that too. Well, she's a very sweet person too. So
she's so good. She's unbelievably
good. Yeah. So, 5 for me is actually very popular, obviously, like legendary song. Christmas Time Is Here by the Vince Guaraldi Trio. That's obviously from the Charlie Brown, Peanuts.
Oh, classic.
I've heard that song a lot this week, especially too at work, and I was not in the spirit of Christmas at all. But between putting up my tree on Sunday, and by the way, my tree, no lie, and my wife even greeted me this. We've been together 19 years. That is by far the best tree we've ever bought. For
nice. You have to send me a picture.
Yes, it's fucking amazing. The tree itself, forget the lights, all that stuff. It's the tree itself is amazing. So, nice. But by the way, we have it in wicked colors for her because she was what she wanted. She got what she wanted, by the way. So.
Now, do you have a light set that like you can change the colors on?
So yeah, but the funny but the funny thing is also too, there is a combo where those colors come out too. Also, the green and yellow. Yeah, so it works out pretty good. Yeah, that song's amazing though.
So we had a couple of different trees over the years, and
you get a real tree or fake tree?
Fake tree. My wife has really bad allergies, so we can't bring a real tree.
So it's funny, like fake trees for years, and then I met her. And I was like, oh, come on, every year I gotta do this shit now. But now I get it. But the thing is now I get the value now. I totally get it.
Yeah, and I mean, but so for years we had like the pre-lit ones that like you could change the color and they had the preset like all red, all blue, multicolored white. And then the lights started dying and this and that.
Yeah.
So we bought on sale a Balsam Hill, which are very expensive. Artificial trees. They look very real. But we decided to go with one that wasn't pre-lit and just buy a strand of lights, because then if the lights go bad, we just have to replace lights, not the whole damn tree.
Mm-hmm.
And we got these the brand, it's made by Twinkly is the lights, and they have an app, and you can set different individual colors, different patterns that you can make them flicker and kind of have like this wavy effect to it, and there's all these preset ones. So it's we absolutely love our tree, and every day one of us will change the color, and that's the color for the day. And, yeah, I love it.
Yeah. All right, number 4, who do you got?
Number 4, not any like specific artist, but Oh Holy Night. But it's got to be kind of more like a traditional, like a Perry Como or Nat King Cole or even like Josh Groban.
That's a good one.
That one, like when I think of all like different hymns, because I grew up in church and go to Steve services and stuff like that. For some reason, that one, if it hits me at the right time, that song can actually make me cry.
Yeah. 4 for me is Sunday at Christmas by the Jackson 5.
Okay.
I love Michael and Jermaine's.
I figured that you would have at least one Jackson.
Actually, 5. Well, not necessarily. I mean, I love the album, but there's a lot of other songs I do love that I play a lot more than the J5 album. It is my favorite album to play every year, but it's definitely the songs there. They're great, but there's also other Christmas songs I do love, probably more than that. But this year, this song made a lot more this year. So this list now, very fluid list. I can change next year, but this list right now is just based on how I felt the last couple of years. So, but yeah, I love this version of the song.
So my top 2 songs, obviously we'll get there.
Yeah,
are locked in. Those ones will never change. 3 through 5, I think, are ones that
I feel like we may have the same song in our top 2. We'll get there in a second. I want to be surprised. Well, let's see. I have a feeling we may have it. I don't know. We'll see.
Maybe.
Right, 3. What do you got?
Gene Autry, Here Comes Santa Claus.
Here comes Santa Claus.
I mean, it's the classic voice. It's just everything about it feels. I know, like, we had the album growing up. My wife, her and her family had the album growing up. We have it on record now. We bought it a couple of years ago. And when I hear it, it just feels like Christmas, whether it's a memory of an old Christmas, a current Christmas, and making Christmas what it is for us now, as we get later in life. Yeah, that's Christmas. Yep.
Here comes Santa Claus.
Yep. Classics, buddy. Oh God, yeah.
It's so good.
Like, there are a couple of modern songs I do like Kelly Clarkson's and Mariah Carey, blah blah blah. But to me, it never feels like Christmas for me unless I get the classics, like the 40s and 50s classics. You know what I'm saying?
So good.
Because it has the wintry feel in those versions, in my opinion. Yeah. All right, number 3 for me is Last Christmas by Wham.
That's on my.
I love that song.
That's on my honorable mentions. Yeah.
Yeah, love song. First, I'm a huge George Michael fan anyway. So, but yeah, fantastic song. Even though it's really a sad song, though.
It is. It really is.
But the melodies is great, though. You know what I'm saying? So
now, do you ever participate in the Whamageddon craze?
In which one?
In Whamageddon. So
no, you don't want to talk about it. You don't want to talk about it years ago. Remember?
Yeah. I do it like
guys. Yeah.
So I actually got knocked out by the movie Last Christmas, which is not a terrible movie, but it's not one that I'll probably ever watch again. Also because there's a twist, and if once you see the twist, you never need to see it again. But I should have seen it coming. But right out of the jump, they started talking about the one character's love of George Michael, and I went, "Oh, I'm cooked," and I was knocked out in the opening credits of the movie. But yeah, I participate. It's fun, but like my favorite part is once I do get knocked out, then I can listen to any station at any time and not have to worry about getting.
Hell yeah! All right, your top 2. I'm really excited about this one.
All right, number 2. And I have a couple friends who are fans of this band and didn't know that they had a Christmas song. Thank God It's Christmas by Queen.
Queen. I knew you could have that song in your top 5. I knew it.
When we did the Queen, it's a song that can bring me to tears, and will bring.
When we did a Queen top 10 on your show a couple years ago, this song was in my top 10.
Yeah, it's in my top 10
so, yeah.
Because I love Christmas songs, and it's a reflective song. Look back on the year. I'm a reflective person. And yeah, it's if you haven't listened to it before, make this the year you do.
Oh, it's a phenomenal song, and I love Queen. So, 2 for me, a bit corny, but I love the song anyway. Do they know it's Christmas? Do they know it's Christmas time at all by Band Aid?
Oh, love it. It's
love that song.
Like I have a list of songs that I actually have saved in my phone because at some point during Christmas, I have to hear them. And if I get to like the 20th or 21st, I haven't heard them in the wild yet. I will go to my phone and I will listen to my Christmas playlist. That song's on my list. Yeah.
I love this song, dude. It's corny as it may be, man. Again, another saddish song.
Right.
It's not. It's really a cry to helping the poor and the poverty and whatnot. It's actually, to be honest with you, it is the precursor to We Are the World, because this song came out about 2 months before We Are the World was released.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I think I'm going to guess that we had to say number 1. I'm going to assume that. Let's see. Number 1.
I would be shocked.
Okay,
maybe
not.
Shocked if we have the same one.
What's number 1?
I will say that. My number 1 is the Royal Guardsman, Snoopy's Christmas.
I have it too. No, joking. No.
That would surprise the hell out of me. You know which one I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
The Christmas bells, oh Christmas bells. Yeah. That, and I think it's because like I mean, I'm a drummer, I'm a percussionist.
Of course.
And the big vertical bells, like that's what they're playing. And I had a chance to play those when I was in orchestra in high school. And they're a super fun instrument to play. And I've just, it's kind of a weird song. But I think it does just kind of have this message of kind of bringing everybody together. And I've always just, I if you know me and we, the music lists we've done over the years, typically the ones that especially get near the top of my list are not the most typical, not what everybody would put at the top of their list. And I think that's what is even special about this one is most people, there's some people have never even heard the song. Secondly, most people wouldn't put it at the top of their list.
Yeah. I'm a little shocked actually. Your number one's not my number 1, because the number 1 is actually a very common song. It's a song that makes you feel like, okay, it is the Christmas time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. By Annie Williams, though. It has to be the Annie Williams version, though. It cannot be any version but that one.
Such a great,
you know what I'm saying?
Great version of that song.
No one could do the song better than the way he did it.
No, there's other versions that I do enjoy, but
they're good.
That's
good
the
this
version. Right.
Yeah, to me, this is the version. Because every time I hear this song, this gets me in the mood for Christmas. Every time I hear this song. So that's my number 1. I had a couple of honorable mentions. I had 3 here. I had a couple more on my phone. I gotta find, but the 3 I listed here. I have Elvis Presley, Blue Christmas. I have Kelly Clarkson, like you said, Underneath the Tree, and have Brenda Lee, Rocking Around the Christmas Tree.
Oh, another good one. Yeah,
great song.
That one was on my short list as well.
And James Brown too, also somewhere. A James Brown song.
Christmas All Over Again by Tom Petty is another one of my favorites.
Interesting.
Yeah, I've always loved that. Always been a big Tom Petty guy. Sinatra's Mistletoe and Holly, one of my all-time favorites. Check that out if you have not. The Spirit of Christmas by Ray Charles. It's in Christmas Vacation. Is another one that I've always loved. Funny song, Weird Al's Christmas at Ground Zero. I've always enjoyed as well. But Christmas Wrapping as well is another one that it's man, I've over the years, like there's been times where I've started listening to Christmas music again, my earbuds, like the day after Thanksgiving or even before Thanksgiving. I've been listening to a lot of different Christmas music this year, some traditional stations that just play all of the hits, and then because I have YouTube Premium, I'll I'll put on just
that
like
too.
a playlist while I'm working of like instrumentals and old.
Did you get that recently?
I've had it for over a year probably.
So I've had it for like 4 or 5 years. I can't do without it.
Nope.
Premium.
Nope.
Like when I got it in
Yeah.
2021, 22. And you know me, I don't like spending money unless I have to. Once I got it, I never looked back.
Dude, those fuckers gave me a free trial of it.
Yeah.
And that's what got me, because when going a month without ads and
you save us much time. Yep.
I said, no, I'll never pay for YouTube. And then I had it for a month, and like after like 2 days post trial, I went, fuck it. I bought it, and I haven't. I've had it ever since. Because we watch so much. We watch so much stuff on YouTube. Like we follow like the Disney food blog. We watch Disney food blog almost daily, and like to have a commercial every 3.5 minutes on these fucking videos would drive me insane. And I listen to music on there while I work.
I watch more material on YouTube regularly every day than I do on any other service. Like, honestly,
I probably do too now. Yeah,
I can't. I'm not saying I would do this. I want to do this, but I would have so fast canceled HBO, Netflix, and Hulu or everything else, and just get YouTube, because I watch if I watch all my sports media stuff, for example, YouTube. If I want to, watch bite size.
Like I will listen. Like I'll listen to Dan Patrick most days.
YouTube,
but I'll listen to him through Sirius, like on the radio while I'm working. But like if I have to cut out for a call or something, what do I do in the afternoon? I go to the interview on his YouTube page, because they post their interviews. They post clips from the interviews, like, you know, Rich Eisen. I've watched segments of the radio show and Preston Steve show in Philadelphia. They have clips that go up there. Disney food blog. I'll catch WWE stuff on there, other wrestling stuff, Notre Dame stuff. Like, I spend a lot of time on YouTube.
Yeah, YouTube's my best friend. It really is.
Yeah.
So
they're gonna have me locked in on that monthly subscription.
Also, another song I love. It's "Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto" by James Brown.
I'll have to pull that one up and give it a listen.
Yeah. So, anyway, great job, Jim, as always. Plug away. Anything want to plug? I mean, we're down to the last couple weeks of the year. So
yeah. 3 Count Thursday, 3CT. So you can get everything for me. You just go to my Twitter and Blue Sky at Big Jim Sports. I have my link tree in there, and there I have direct links to all my projects. But 3CT, we have our last live show of the year tomorrow night, Thursday night.
Really?
Yeah,
because Christmas and New Year's.
And New Year's. But we have content. We recorded stuff. We call our family Christmas. We got together this past weekend, and we got some content down for Christmas Day and the Tuesday after Christmas. So last live show of the year is tomorrow night. And then we have our to the Tuesday podcast. We will be live on New Year's night. So we won't be live on Christmas. We'll actually be taking the week off and spending time with family. So check that out. Take 3 Wrestling. Still plugging away there. We have, obviously, we're going to talk John Cena on that tomorrow night. Mike actually flew up to DC for the show. So
yeah, I saw that. That's awesome.
So he gets that experience. And then Huddle Up podcast. We are on the eve of the college football playoff. So we preview
that you're not going to watch, right?
Nope, I'm not watching a single second of postseason.
You're boycotting, huh? You are boycotting it.
Absolutely.
So if I ask you to make a prediction, though, who wins the whole thing? Who do you think wins it?
Ohio State or Indiana. Unfortunately, it'll probably end up being Ohio State. It's going to be hard to beat them a second time. But those are your 2 best teams. The teams in the SEC. Georgia's the only other team that even has a shot, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a very weak bracket, and it got weaker because they had to get Alabama in. But I'm not watching it. But Huddle Up podcast, we previewed that. We looked at the Week 16 games. NFL season is winding up. We only have literally about 6 weeks left of the Huddle Up season before we go into the off season there. So
and then oh my God, quick! It's actually one of the fastest seasons we've ever had.
It's been wild. The other day at work, I said 2025 has simultaneously been about 40 years and 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm. It's insane.
It really
Totally
is.
insane. So, Jim, good job by you. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, man. You too.
Yeah,
Happy
man.
Hanukkah.
Yes, sir. Day 4.